Rayshard Brooks, this was trending everywhere, and it's still remarkable to me that a lot of people have not seen the full context of the clip.
Yeah.
Really wish that the man had not been shot, but I also wish that the media had actually done their job, and I also wish that the local Wendy's hadn't been torched. So the hashtag, of course, and the original narrative, which was pushed out by Stacey Abrams, with whom I placed a bet, by the way, haven't heard back yet, was a completely unarmed, entirely peaceful black man shot by the Everything about that, including unarmed in this case, is wrong. Here's the clip.
Wendy's drive-thru for no f***ing reason. For no f***ing reason. Shot him. I saw y'all talking to him for 20 minutes, dude. Unarmed. Non-violent.
Debatable.
Nothing wrong with how he conducted himself whatsoever.
A lot wrong.
And you pull a f***ing gun, dude?
Okay, now, none of this is to say if someone acts inappropriately, right, or violently assaults or punch officers in the face and steals their weapon. None of that is to say that they deserve to die, okay?
Right.
But I do want to correct, did nothing wrong, nothing at all, and you pull a gun for no reason, and that video and that narrative was retweeted by many elected officials who also support Chaz that we'll talk about in a little bit. So there are multiple angles. I do warn you, it's not a trigger warning, it's an actual rating warning if you have children, but this is the footage of what led up to Rayshard being shot. Reaching for the taser right there.
Just being told not to.
Throws him over. There's a punch. There's a throw an officer on his head on concrete.
Stop fighting.
There's another punch. There's another punch in the face. Now there's a run, tased, running, and then I think we have the long shot.
Oh! I got it. Hey, bro, we got kids.
Well, I do understand the concern that you have kids. The primary concern is not being shot at that point by someone aiming it back at the officer.
Yeah.
And I think we have tweets right here. Yeah, they tweeted out that he was pulled over for falling asleep in his car.
Oh my God.
No. Actually, he was falling asleep for. I think we have another clip here, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm confused. Oh, this is the long shot. So he didn't fall asleep in his car.
And can I say something really quick? Anyone who's ever been affected by drunk driving knows, like, what can happen from drunk driving. Knows you don't get to the Wendy's parking lot drunk without having driven.
Right.
No,
Well, God knows what they're putting in their Arnold Palmers.
Yeah.
I mean, delicious things.
Anytime I ask for coffee unsweetened, they can't figure it out. So I assume there's a little bit of wormwood liqueur in there.
Probably some delicious brown beverage.
I don't know.
Delicious,
But he literally, in the state of Georgia, the way that the law is written is you have to be in physical control of a vehicle. So the thing that they were there...
Does a sleep count?
So being asleep, the point being that, yes, if you're asleep and you're driving a vehicle, you have a problem. If you're in a parked vehicle in a place that makes it that indicates that you had to have driven there and you are in that moment drunk, yes, you could prove I was sober, I got here, I started drinking, I'm sleeping it off, and now I'm driving away.
So in which case, you should, thank you for advocating that, you should always keep an open alcohol container in your car because it's the lesser charge. So you can just be like, I got here sober, and then Mr. Jameson said, what's up?
Calling my name.
And I thought that, like, McDonald's done some renovations. It's a cool spot to hang out. And I got drunk here, but I was sober when I came up. Prove it. So
It was Wendy's, though.
let's go to the next clip. This clip is what? This is the long shot?
Yep.
The clip is a long shot. By the way, this is important as to the unarmed portion. Again, warning that this is where the man is shot. There's a long shot. Now, that explosion is important because that's when injuries occur in sports. You've heard of pulling your punches, right? You've heard of the idea of... Oh, this is the whole clip again.
Yeah, it pulls out whenever he's...
Okay, then we're going to see the long shot as to what he does and where he aims the officer's weapon. By the way, people have died from that on concrete being spiked on their head. So right there, he tried to shoot them with their own taser. Now here he's running a long shot, pointing it back. Okay, then he gets shot. Now, Obviously, we would prefer if this man was not
course.
shot. We don't need the full
Yeah.
body cam footage. We don't need another angle of it.
Yeah.
That being said, this myth that this was a man who did absolutely nothing wrong, was entirely peaceful and unarmed. He was, correction, Your Honor, he was unarmed until he beat the hell out of a police officer, stole two police officers, stole their taser, and aimed it at them. Now, I've heard the argument, well, a taser is a non-lethal weapon. Okay, then first, why would you advocate it in place of a gun for women when it comes to rape defense and someone could be on PCP who are impervious to pain? Second, what is a taser designed to do? Because you want officers, at least you did, to have tasers instead of firearms, right? Even though it's non-deadly, what does it do?
Absolutely.
It's designed to incapacitate. So what is the danger in incapacitating an officer with his own weapon where he also has a deadly weapon? Do we have any proof here that officers have been harmed irreparably by their own tasers? Here's some overlays. It's actually very common. It happens all the time. Let's also keep in mind, if we're trying to talk about being sympathetic to all parties involved, the second officer is the one who shot to defend his officer, was fired. I think it's absolutely wrong. I think it's an unfortunate scenario. This is not a lynching. This is not somebody who went out to harm a black guy. You're an officer, and you're getting up. You've just been spiked on your head, and you see your fellow officer running, and some guy in the dark, you can't identify that, aiming a gun at your partner. Now, perfect reaction? No, of course not. We've talked about better training. But is it outside of the realm of possibility in a split second after being punched in the face, having your bell rung, potentially being out on your feet, that you think someone's about to shoot your buddy?
No, I think I have a problem with somebody losing their life always, right? I always hate it, right? We've said that a million times. But if this is not a case where you get to defend your own life as a police officer, I really don't know what is. This person could have just not resisted. When they were cuffing him, he could have availed himself of the criminal justice system and said, I was wrongfully cuffed, I was wrongfully arrested. Instead, he started fighting and winning against
hold on, there's
two
a big
cops.
difference too. There's also a big difference between, there's a big difference between, hey, officer, hey man, listen, can we just calm it? And all right, putting your arms in and whack, exploding.
Exactly.
That's a sucker punch, which, by the way, we videotaped over here. We filmed, we phone taped and broadcast. Several officers got punched in the face. That's with intent to cause serious harm. And as you know, anyone who knows, think of a rope, right? This is why you warm up in sports. Same thing in football. How often do you go from 0 to 60? Same thing if you actually, even if you watch combat competition a lot of the time, if it's sparring, you don't do that. What you typically do is, you've heard of pulling your punches. You ease into it, you go slow, because there's no way to control that velocity. That's designed to generate as much inertia as humanly possible. Think of it like a rope. If the rope is already somewhat tight, right, you can play tug of war. Okay? Going back and forth, no one gets hurt. If it's an entirely loose rope, you say, okay, everybody go 100% on 3, 2, yank. That's how people get hurt. That's specifically what, and let me be really clear here as well. We're going to get to Ahmaud Arbery, a video that only has 100,000 plays, by the way, his previous interaction with officers. I am a white guy. Basic bitch pumpkin spice latte of people.
Default.
Can anyone here picture a world where I get so high and or drunk, whatever it is, we don't know yet, that I pass out in a Wendy's drive-thru?
Right.
Fight officers, punch them in the face repeatedly, spike one on his head, steal someone's taser, try and run, aim it back at him, fire, and I not get shot? I cannot picture a world where that doesn't happen. I can't. So I think it's do I think it's racially motivated?
No.
No, I think it's heat of the moment, incredibly violent in a way that you should never interact with your fellow man, let alone officer motivated. Also, this is proof of, we'll go to Ahmaud Arbery in a little bit, it's just like the COVID deaths. Right? People out there think that people are dropping like flies. Like everyone in this room from coronavirus. No. The average age of a coronavirus death is older than life expectancy. These are people who have asthma, who have cancer, who have diabetes, who are morbidly obese. The same scenario with these officer deaths. 9 last year of black unarmed men who were shot by police officers. This wouldn't even be a part of that statistic because he was armed.
Not unarmed. 19
white guys. And most of them, when we've gone through them, I don't know if the Black Lives Matter video has been banned from YouTube yet. Good chance it has been. Are like this. The idea that it's just, hey, officer, here's my license, here's my what, bang, 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 bang.
Never happened.
If you could pick one, that's the one that would be the hero. That's the one that would be the mural. This is not a scenario where that is the case. You were about to say something.